As Israel responds to the terror attacks that have killed over 1,000 people, some Democrats are apparently not comfortable calling out the evil. Disturbing reports are mounting of the brutality that Hamas has inflicted on the people of Israel, including unthinkable acts of violence toward women and children. President Biden has been calling out the sheer act of evil, but
that's the least I can expect from him.
Squad Representative Rashida Tlaib turning her back when asked point blank about it.
Man, her and Ilmar need to have their asses thrown out of Congress. It's a joke they're in there to begin with.
Terrorists have cut off babies' heads and burned children alive. Do you support Israel's rights to defend themselves against this brutality?
You can bet if it was the other way around and it was Israeli soldiers beheading and burning Palestinian babies, she'd have a lot to say.
We're just going to go through here.
You have no comment about children's heads being chopped off? Congressman, why do you have a Palestinian flag outside your office if you do not condone what Hamas terrorists have done to Israel?
Because she's a piece of shit.
Nearly 24 hours after that, Congresswoman Tlaib is responding, saying in an interview, "I do not support targeting and killing of civilians, whether in Israel or Palestine."
Yeah, sure. Later, when someone else writes it up for you.
The fact that some have suggested otherwise is offensive and rooted in bigoted assumptions about my faith and ethnicity.
Now that's offensive and bigoted as you are. Give me a freaking break.
The White House condemning Squad Democrats for their disgraceful comments.
We believe they're wrong. We believe they're repugnant, and we believe they're disgraceful. Our condemnation belongs squarely with terrorists who have brutally murdered, raped, kidnapped hundreds of Israelis.
Well, isn't this a first? I can't believe I'm agreeing with this Madame Goebbels here.
There can be no equivocation about that. There are not two sides here. There are not two sides.
President Biden just gave some remarks in which he made a very strong statement about silence.
Silence is complicity.
Well, this is one of the rare instances where I'm agreeing with Joe Biden. Not that there needs to be a lot of applauding for standing against terrorists that have murdered families, innocent civilians, including decapitating babies and burning them in front of their mothers before killing them too. There needs to be a special place in hell for those savages.
Silence is complicity. It really is.
It is.
And I want you to know, I think you've already figured it out. I refuse to be silent, and I know you refuse to be silent as well.
And then Tlaib refuses to answer. Of course, she gives an interview later on. But why would it be that hard? I mean, where is the courage and bravery? If you're going to put the Palestinian flag outside your office, okay, great.
She ain't brave because she's a bigot, a hypocrite.
Then explain. But instead, she just turned her back and walked away.
Yeah, I don't think there's an answer. I mean, if you look at all of the things that we're seeing every day coming in from those families, coming in from the children, it's not soldier on soldier. This is terrorist on baby, terrorist on family. So it's not defensible. And I think that that's why there was no response for 24 hours. I will say that the administration has done a pretty good job of kind of responding to this right away and forcefully.
I have to agree with Brett, who I like, about as much as I'd like toe fungus in my ham sandwiches. You know what I'm saying?
Usually they've kind of been around the edges. This was pretty forceful, and they did a pretty good job of it.
Jean-Pierre, the press secretary, says what she says against the squad, that was coming directly from the boss.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question. And I join Brett in recognizing that the president and his staff so far has made it clear that this is wrong.
I agree.
And, when the president talked just now about silence as complicity, it was Elie Wiesel who says, silence encourages the tormentor, never the tormented. To do nothing helps the abuser, never the victim. And what we've seen in this country for too long tells you all you need to know about Rashida Tlaib and her gang, that she couldn't recognize this as evil.
Oh, hell yeah. Kick them out. Damn.
That she wasn't able to say it's wrong tells you everything you need to know. And it's time to start recognizing that when they're done over there, they're coming over here.
Wasn't 9/11 enough of a wake-up call?
And if anyone thinks, especially Rashida Tlaib, that these children that were burned alive or that were beheaded after their mothers were murdered, they're wrong. The last infliction of harm on these mothers was to make them watch their babies die. So the people who can't tell the difference are sheer sociopaths. And they have the audacity the next day to call it truce.
Yeah, right. Shit. My ass.
After this kind of violence, no, there should be no truce. We should arm Israel to the teeth. We've got to destroy Hamas, control the violence in Gaza to prevent an all-out war, and do it fast.
No justice! Put your flags up! No justice! Free, free!
Look at this happy horse shit.
All this happy horse shit. Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine!
So you listen to that, but also looking at the video, Greg, that's not a small gathering.
No, it's not. It's kind of scary. I mean, when you think about, we talked about BLM, we talked about the squad, and then you see these crowds in Dearborn. Are these people evil or are they stupid?
Both.
I think that the leaders are weak and scared because they've ridden to prestige on a terrible message that has played into what you just saw. That population, right? And they can't piss them off with stupid ideas like empathy or compassion, because that just means you're weak and you're going back on your pernicious ideology. When you can't say that beheading kids is evil, you pretty much removed yourself from humanity.